Have you ever wondered why you can use a JavaScript function before declaring it? Or why the variable declared var sometimes behave like strangely? Because this happened of something called hoisting. This is our today's topic. So I'll explain hoisting in a super simple way and show some common mistakes and teach you best practices to avoid bugs. Now let's get started. So what is hoisting? So basically hoisting is a behavior in JavaScript where variables and functions declarations are moved to the top of their scope even before the code is executed. What does that mean? Let me give you a real life example. Imagine you go to a restaurant, but instead of waiting in a line, you just call ahead and said that we want to reserve a table. Now when you arrive, what happened? The restaurant will already have your table assigned or booked, but there will be no food on it yet. So you still need to place your order and wait for it to be served. This is very related to hoisting. How does this relate to JavaScript? So we are making the reservation by just calling to the restaurant. This is that also done by JavaScript. So JavaScript allocate memory for variables and function before executions. Then after arriving at the restaurant, that means we JavaScript just go into that JavaScript, start running your code. Now there is no food on the table yet. So what does that mean? That means that the variable declared but not assigned a value yet. That means that the memory for the variable is already assigned, but there is no value on it. That is the funda of hoisting. But here is a catch. Only the declaration are hoisted, not the values. And I'll give an common misconceptions about a topic. Like many people think hoisting moves code to the top, but in reality JavaScript just allocate memory for variables and functions before running the code. Not more than that. It does not move the code to the top. It just allocate memory for the variables and functions. Now let me just give you some example and explain it to you. Suppose we are declaring a variable with var meal equal to pasta, and then console logging the meal before on time, and then after the declaration, after initialization, then we again console logging the mail. So what do you think? What just relate it with the example I given to you for the restaurant. So before going to before giving the restaurant order, does your table has anything? No. That means in here JavaScript will allocate memory for meal, but there will be nothing. So nothing means in here JavaScript will give undefined in that case. So you just reach in the restaurant and you just said that I want a meal pasta. Okay, so after giving the order, if you again want to know that what meal you have ordered, so in now they will give that you have ordered pasta. Okay, that's it. Now in the same scenario, you tell me what will be this out and what will be this output. So for here we are declaring a city as Delhi, and even before initializing it we are logging the city, and after that we are also logging the city. So in here also what will happen, it will give undefined, and here also it will give undefined. Am I right? No, here it will be not undefined, it will be Delhi. Okay, now suppose so for the case of where it is hosted, but what about late and const? Is it also hosted? What do you think? No. What do you think? Is it no? No, it is also hosted, but it will be hosted but not initialized. In the case of late and const, it will cause a temporal dead zone, meanings you cannot use them before declarations. Let me just give you an example with what about this? What will be this meaning? We have given two examples for this. What will be it? We know that it will just as it is declared with var, so it will give undefined. But in the case of b let, is it also going to be undefined? No. JavaScript will not allow you to access the variable which is declared as late with late and const. It will give you the reference error that b that cannot access b before initialization. Okay, that means b var will be when you declare any variable as var, then that variable will be hosted. But in the case of let, it will be hosted but we cannot access it because it will be in temporal dead zone. Sorry. That's all about today's topic. We'll learn hosting with the functions in the next video.